there is our first view of the suspension bridge. We're walking up towards the observatory, which is to the right of that as you look at it, to get a view of the bridge, and then we're going to come back down and walk over. So there is the bridge in all its glory. That's a long, long way down. Over there is North Somerset. Behind me is the observatory, which is raised high on its cliff above the bridge. Wanted to go into the cave and to the camera obscura, which is behind me. Sadly, we got here too late. It closes at 5, so I need to come and actually revisit this place and go and have a look at the observatory, because there's caves below our feet here that come out in the cliff face halfway down. But we'll have to come back and do that another time. But for now, let's just have a look around. I don't know if you can make out a very slight bank immediately to the right of the footpath, which is running past where I'm standing and back over that way. It's what's left of the earthworks that surrounded Clifton Camp. This is Clifton Camp, the area you're looking at in front of you. There is a medieval enclosure on that side, and obviously the observatory was built into it. And this is a natural place, because if you look around behind, you'll see that on virtually 2 sides it's surrounded by cliffs, making it very easily defendable and giving a view for miles to the countryside around, which is what these things were all about. From here you get a good view of the gorge running out towards the River Severn at the other end there. These cliffs run for several miles along the river, and as you can say, it would have formed an impenetrable barrier before the bridge. Down there you can see the traffic on the main road, and behind it there's the river, the Avon, and the bridge. Down there you can make out the yellow railings on the entrance to the cave. That's where we would have come out had that been opened. But I will come back and we'll look at that another time. But now it's time to walk the bridge. As you see, if you can look, the Bristol side support tower, and the other side, the towers are completely different. This one you can see contains slots, the one over there doesn't, and I'll be talking reason about that in a while. But it's to do with the fact that Brunel didn't actually live to see this bridge completed. Although he was involved in it initially, it was actually finished after his death, and it was heavily modified from his original design. Sadly, this bridge is well known for suicides, and that's a sign from the Samaritans. If we rotate around here, up there you can see the observatory. That's where the cars are coming in. So we're going that way. Let's go and see what's there. So back here we're looking towards Bristol along the River Avon over there. That's Clifton to your left, the village of Clifton, a very desirable part of Bristol to live in. Very expensive, no doubt. And here is the bridge running across the gorge. I'm holding it above a fence, so if I'm not lined up, I apologise. So here we are, walking across the bridge on foot. You can feel the bumps as the cars go past. Here we are, just approaching the midway point, as can be seen from the suspension chains on the right. So if we turn to the left, we can now see the view, with Bristol lined up over there to the left. So here we are, we've reached the other side now, and we can actually look back across the bridge we've just walked across. You can see the observatory up on the hill. We'll walk back on the other side of the bridge in a moment, but I just want to take one last look back at Bristol and the main road out to Avonmouth. And that's the beginning down there of the floating dock. I'm going to come back and do a walk around the floating dock because it was a very ingenious method of bringing ships up here, because the Avon here is connected to the River Severn, and as you know, the River Severn has the second highest tidal range in the world, and so therefore this river goes up and down a lot, which is no good for shipping. So by having docks there and what's called a floating dock behind it, they can maintain the water levels. So we're going to come back and do that another day, but for now, back to the bridge. Found this interesting building as I crossed the bridge onto the other side. We're now in North Somerset. So we've walked across from the Bristol side to the North Somerset side. Now it's time to walk back the other way. We came across the southern side with views of Bristol. We're going to walk back on the northern side with views out along the gorge towards Avonmouth. So let's go. This is put there to measure stretch on the bridge. It goes all the way up, you can see it there running up. The chains on this bridge have a history. Brunel designed and built the first Hungerford Bridge in London over the Thames, and when that was demolished to make way for a newer bridge, the chains were salvaged and brought here and used on this bridge. Nice view of the gorge there. Tower here. And down there can be seen the usual heavy traffic at 5 o'clock in Bristol coming in from Avonmouth. Over there you can see the entrance to the tunnels that we couldn't gain entrance to today because we were here too late. Never mind. Down there, can you see the road runs under like a bridge? That sadly is because of people jumping off the bridge. They didn't want them hitting the cars below. It's time to walk back. Let's go. And there is a great view along the gorge, right there. So the ever decreasing height of the chains to our right once again indicates that we are nearly at the halfway point. In fact, we are approaching the halfway point round about now. So after a quick call from Jeff, let's continue walking across the bridge. the maintenance cage that allows them to cross the bridge, work on the ironwork, because there's a lot of work needs doing. You can see down there the cage they work from. These can traverse the length of the bridge on this rail that you see here. As you can see, there's a wheel under there, and it traverses along this rail from one side of the bridge to the other. Began in 1836, but was interrupted in 1843 through the lack of funds. 5 years after Brunel's death in 1864 that the bridges were completed. Now if we come round here, the two towers are different, and they differ in as much as on this side they have these slots cut into them, which they don't have on the other side. Here's the way in for traffic. You come through there, and then you go that way and out and over the bridge. It's an awful long way down to the bottom there. That was a great visit to the bridge over here. It's been fantastic. I'm going to head off now to a pub called the Old Fish Market, where apparently they do amazing clam chowder. But for now, from the bridge, it's goodbye.